The Philadelphia Eagles have been under the microscope lately, and for good reason. Fans have grown increasingly frustrated with an offense that has lost its spark and looks far from the dynamic, unpredictable unit we saw in previous seasons. The issues are complex, layered, and cannot be pinned on a single person. Yet the spotlight inevitably falls on Kevin Patullo, the offensive coordinator. While he runs Nick Sirianni's system, the execution on the field has been inconsistent at best, and the predictable nature of play calling has made it easier for defenses to anticipate and shut down opportunities. Critics argue that a shakeup could revitalize the offense, but it is clear that the problems run deeper than just the strategy on paper. Penalties, missed assignments, and the inability to maintain rhythm have compounded the struggles, leaving the offense lacking energy, creativity, and the confidence that once defined this team. A major factor in this offensive downturn has been the performance and availability of the offensive line. Expectations coming into the season were high, with hopes that running backs like Saquon Barkley would have the lanes and protection to produce impressive numbers. Instead, injuries and inconsistent play have left the line vulnerable, and the ripple effect has been devastating for both the running and passing game. Jordan Mailata has not been able to consistently dominate. Landon Dickerson's injuries have hindered his effectiveness, and Cam Jurgens has been physically challenged by opposing defenders. Tyler Steen has provided stability, but the absence of Lane Johnson for much of the year has been a noticeable setback. Missing other key pieces like Becton has weakened the interior line even further, limiting the running game and placing additional pressure on Jalen Hurts to perform under duress. Hurts has shown flashes of brilliance in the past, but the lack of support has prevented him from consistently executing the big plays that define elite quarterbacks. The struggles extend beyond the line, affecting the skill players and receivers who must operate in tight spaces without separation. A.J. Brown remains one of the league's most physical and explosive receivers, delivering impressive performances when opportunities arise, yet questions about his future have begun to surface. If the Eagles cannot regain offensive momentum, Brown's willingness to stay with the team could be tested, and the prospect of a trade becomes a real possibility. His all-pro level production has been crucial over the last 3 seasons, but continued stagnation could create tension in the locker room and put additional pressure on management to make decisive moves. Every game without offensive rhythm magnifies these concerns and leaves fans wondering how the team can return to the form that once made them a threat in every matchup. Offensive efficiency has been another casualty of this slump. Plays that were once reliable, like short yardage pushes, have faltered because the interior line cannot generate the necessary movement. Creativity in play design has been limited, leaving patterns predictable and opponents ready to counter. Sirianni has emphasized ball security and fundamentals, and the defense has remained competitive in recent games. But the inability of the offense to maintain consistency has put the team in challenging positions repeatedly. This lack of balance has forced Hurts into high-pressure situations where decisions must be perfect, yet even his talent cannot overcome the cumulative weaknesses in blocking, route execution, and play calling. Injuries have further exacerbated the challenges, testing the depth of the roster and exposing areas of vulnerability. Players like Drew Kendall, Cameron Williams, and Miles Hinton have potential, but this year they have not been able to fully step up when called upon. The absence of key contributors forces adjustments that are often imperfect, and opponents have been quick to exploit these gaps. The offensive line's struggles ripple across the unit, creating predictable situations and reducing the effectiveness of both the running and passing games. The pressure on Hurts to create plays independently has been relentless, highlighting the importance of cohesion and execution from every member of the offense. Timing is critical as the Eagles move deeper into the season. With just over half of the regular season remaining, the margin for error is shrinking. Every misstep becomes more consequential, and the team's ability to adapt and adjust could determine whether they remain contenders in a competitive NFC. The open nature of the conference presents opportunities, but it also means that any lapse in execution could have outsized consequences. Some voices within the fan base have even suggested changes at the offensive coordinator level, believing that a fresh perspective could reinvigorate the unit. While Patullo manages the system, it is the combination of coaching adjustments and player execution that must align for the offense to rediscover its identity. Sirianni's role as head coach remains central. His emphasis on toughness, attention to detail, and discipline has shaped the team's culture and kept fundamental aspects of the game intact. The Eagles have excelled at turnover creation and protecting the football, maintaining a competitive edge even when the offense struggles to generate consistent production. Yet reliance on coordinators can reveal weaknesses, and in this case, the inability to sustain offensive creativity and rhythm has exposed gaps for opponents to exploit. The defense has been a stabilizing force, but without a revitalized offense, the team risks losing critical games that could define their postseason prospects. The urgency to address these issues is undeniable. Whether through adjustments in personnel, shifts in coaching strategy, or an infusion of new energy into the offensive staff, the time for action is now. Players must elevate their execution, but leadership must recognize when structural changes are needed to maximize the team's potential. The current struggles have highlighted vulnerabilities that opposing teams are eager to exploit, and without decisive steps, the season could slip away despite the roster's inherent talent and the strong culture built over recent years. Every game now carries immense weight, and fans are watching closely, aware that the Eagles' potential is vast but currently underutilized. As the season progresses, the pressure on the Eagles has intensified, and every game is taken on the feel of a critical test for both players and coaching staff. The offense, once considered the engine driving the team's success, must rediscover its identity if the Eagles hope to remain competitive at the highest level. Jalen Hurts, despite his athletic ability and previous moments of brilliance, has faced challenges that have exposed inconsistency and forced difficult decisions on the field. His ability to balance aggression with calculated execution has been tested repeatedly, and the lack of support from the offensive line has magnified these challenges. Even though Hurts' touchdown-to-turnover ratio remains respectable, the rhythm and timing required to sustain a productive offense have often been absent, leaving him to navigate high-pressure situations that demand precision at every snap. The situation surrounding Kevin Patullo continues to draw scrutiny. While the offensive scheme originates from Nick Sirianni, in-game adjustments and the implementation of plays have fallen short of expectations. The offense has become predictable, and opposing defenses have capitalized on this, reading patterns and shutting down opportunities before they can develop. The absence of creative solutions in crucial moments has been a recurring theme, and questions about whether a change at the coordinator position could spark renewed energy have only grown louder. Adding a new voice or perspective could offer a much-needed jolt, providing fresh ideas to open up the offense and create opportunities for players who have been limited by the current structure. Every week, without tangible improvement, intensifies the conversation, and the potential impact of such a change on morale and performance cannot be underestimated. A.J. Brown's role in the offense adds another layer of complexity. When healthy, Brown is one of the most explosive and physically imposing receivers in the league, capable of transforming a game with a single catch or contested play. However, the uncertainty surrounding the offense has created questions about his long-term commitment. If the Eagles fail to demonstrate a clear path to improvement, Brown may seek options elsewhere, creating a void that would be difficult to fill. His production has been integral to the team's success, and ensuring that he remains engaged and motivated is paramount. Leadership must balance immediate tactical adjustments with long-term planning to preserve both talent and continuity in the roster. The running game has similarly struggled to meet expectations. The offensive line's inability to consistently create lanes has hindered the performance of Saquon Barkley and other backs, limiting the team's ability to sustain drives on the ground. Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, and the other linemen have faced challenges both from injuries and from opposing defenders who have exploited weaknesses in protection schemes. This has forced adjustments and placed greater responsibility on Hurts, making the offense increasingly one-dimensional and easier to defend. Addressing the line's deficiencies whether through personnel changes or refined technique, is essential to restoring balance and giving the offense the tools necessary to execute effectively. Depth and development in the trenches have become critical, as reliance on backups who are not fully prepared exposes the team to further vulnerability. Special teams and situational plays have remained a relative strength, offering a measure of stability, but they cannot compensate for systemic offensive issues. The Eagles' culture of toughness, discipline, and accountability has been a foundation for success. Yet even the strongest culture cannot overcome shortcomings on the field without tangible adjustments. Leadership, including Sirianni, Howie Roseman, and Jeffrey Lurie, faces the delicate task of maintaining morale while demanding higher performance and making strategic decisions that could redefine the team's trajectory. Every choice carries weight, from minor tactical adjustments to potential changes in key coaching positions, and the impact of these decisions will be felt on the field immediately. The NFC landscape offers both opportunity and risk. With no single team dominating the conference, the path to contention remains open, but only if the Eagles can address their current shortcomings. Opponents are vigilant, exploiting any sign of weakness in rhythm or creativity. Small errors, missed blocks, failed routes, or quarterback misreads can have outsized consequences in this competitive environment. The pressure to adjust through personnel changes, strategic innovations, or leadership interventions is immense. Immediate action may be necessary to prevent the team from slipping behind other contenders and to seize the window of opportunity that still exists. Brian Daboll has emerged in discussions as a potential candidate to inject new life into the offensive unit. Known for his ability to develop quarterbacks and implement effective schemes, Daboll has elevated the performance of players like Daniel Jones and Josh Allen, tailoring systems to maximize individual talent. Bringing in a coach with his experience could provide fresh insights, enhance play calling, and energize an offense that has struggled to find consistency. Whether he serves as a long-term solution or a transitional influence, the conversation highlights the urgency for decisive action in revitalizing the unit. Fresh perspectives have the potential to reinvigorate both the players and the scheme, creating opportunities that have been elusive in recent weeks. Player development and health remain central to the Eagles' chances of success. The depth of the roster, particularly on the offensive line and skill positions, will determine the team's ability to withstand injuries and maintain competitiveness throughout the season. Young players like Drew Kendall, Cameron Williams, and Miles Hinton carry potential, but are being tested in high-pressure situations that demand immediate contributions. Injuries to veterans such as Lane Johnson and Becton have highlighted the fragility of the roster and reinforced the importance of planning for contingencies. Balancing the performance of established stars while nurturing emerging talent is a delicate but necessary approach if the Eagles aim to reach the postseason with confidence. Every game now carries heightened significance, and extended periods of ineffective offensive performance are no longer tolerable. Adjustments must occur not only at the scheme level, but also in how players are utilized, how matchups are exploited, and how the offense adapts under pressure. Jalen Hurts must regain consistency, while the line must create opportunities for both running and passing plays. Decisions regarding the offensive coordinator position will communicate the level of urgency and accountability demanded from the entire team. Leadership actions now will shape the remaining season and signal to players the standards required to compete at a championship level. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Patrick Mahomes has become the center of an unexpected storm after a supposed comment about the Eagles began circulating among league insiders. Nothing officially confirmed, of course, but enough to turn locker room whispers into full-blown speculation. According to people close to the quarterback, Mahomes may have made an unusually candid remark during a private training session, and that single line has reportedly echoed through players, analysts, and even staff members who swear they heard something. The buzz intensified when unverified reports claimed Mahomes hinted he had a very clear read on the Eagles, a statement that allegedly caught even his own teammates off guard. No one seems to know whether he was referring to their style, their defensive structure, or something deeper, perhaps even psychological. What truly set off the rumor mill was the tone of the comment, described by one witness as almost prophetic, as if Mahomes were anticipating an unexpected shift yet to unfold. Since then, sports commentators have been split. Some believe Mahomes was simply being confident, maybe even teasing a bit, while others suspect he was signaling something far more strategic. The Eagles, meanwhile, have offered no public reaction, though whispers around their facility suggest extra film room sessions have suddenly appeared on the schedule, as if they're trying to decode what exactly the quarterback thinks he has figured out. As fans try to piece together words no one officially claims to have heard, the atmosphere has taken on a quiet tension. Mahomes, usually precise and controlled in his public remarks, has kept his answers neutral. Even so, several observers insist they noticed a barely visible smirk, the kind only elite quarterbacks wear when they know something others haven't caught on to yet. Whether the comment was real or a misunderstanding, no one can say with certainty. Whether it was strategy or simple training ground chatter remains equally unclear. But the rumor has grown legs and now drifts around the league like a lingering mystery. What did Patrick Mahomes see in the Eagles that has everyone uneasy? One thing seems undeniable. Where there's smoke, a long throw might be coming next. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.